Okay, still got my Kapton tape on, and what I'm going to put on is some of this. This is from Poundland, PVA wood glue. I've got some made up already that I've dyed. Seems quite watery, by the way. When I tried this for wood, it seems to work okay, but it seems like quite watery anyway. But they tend to say mix it about 4:1. So I have this here which I've mixed some in with water, about 4:1 approximately, only guessing it. And I've got another brush. This brush here is from Poundland. It comes with a cleaning kit, I think, for cleaning CDs or something like that, if I remember right. And I'm just going to spread this. This is very watery indeed, extremely watery. I'm just going to do approximately where the printing's. I don't think that's going to work because that's forming a pool of almost liquid there. It's extremely watery on this Kapton tape, but like that I don't think it's going to work. Let me spread that out just a little bit more, and I'm going to turn on the heater. Well, actually I'm going to set on prepare. I'm going to set the preheat PLA. I'm going to ask for that. So that's doing a bed of 70. That's another thing. Some people seem to say turn the temperature up, some people say turn the temperature down. This is PLA, so that's another test. So this will warm the bed up. I've set to 70. As I say, this stuff seems to me to be pretty watery anyway, compared with other wood glues I've had. It's quite weak. Let me put a. Can we see this in the camera? You can see how much that sort of flows there. What I'm thinking of doing is actually spreading some of this. I'm going to spread that amongst that, so that will make it. Actually, I'm going to add quite a dollop more of this and almost mix it in with what's already on there, because to me there's no way on earth that mixing about 4:1 with this stuff is going to be any beneficial. So it's set at 70 now, and I can see steam coming off there. I don't know if you can. It's certainly steaming quite a bit there. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to leave it a while like this, at this temperature, and I'll come back when I think that's reasonably dry. So I'm basically just going to leave that now, give it about 10 minutes or so, let that dry out, and we'll come back then. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes, it hasn't been 10. It does feel a little bit rough to the touch there. That's pretty dry. When it starts printing, I'll come back and show you that. Right, we're going on to Kapton Tape with diluted PLA, and the bed is set now to 70 degrees. So that's 20 more than earlier on. See if this adheres any better. So it's PLA, I think it could be lowered a little bit on the nozzle. But not a lot there. So this feels like slightly rough to the touch as compared with the Kapton Tape. So it is 70 on the bed, 200 for the nozzle, PLA. I want to see if this starts lifting off the bed after a while. So it's 200 for the nozzle, 70 for the bed, and we're printing PLA. The feed rate on here is saying 106%, so I don't know why it's doing that. This was using cooler to slice this. I had a problem with a model loading into frontal face, that the model wouldn't really load. You know, all the triangles out of line or wherever they are. But that model seemed to load into cooler. So I'm going to, actually that model I'm talking about is so bad that I tried Netfab or whatever it is, and even that wouldn't seem to fix it. So I will be possibly trying to print that, well I will be printing that out later sometime. Now that seems to be adhering. Hasn't come off yet. You might notice there is some Kapton tape sticking up just behind this print. That's because the nozzles did actually catch it earlier on when I was experimenting, but I haven't bothered replacing that. It's not really too close to the actual model, so that should be okay. Now so long as the feed keeps feeding, it should, I think, come out alright. I don't know how well this is going to come off. I have a feeling this will come off the bed quite easily compared with the blue painter's tape on a heated bed that I had earlier. Remembering that the bed is set to 70, so we might have to wait until it cools down quite a bit. Some people actually say warm up the bed, because that will soften that layer that's touching the bed, and then you can release it. Some say put the bed in the freezer, but getting this bed off here would be quite hard to do at the moment, so I think that's going to be out. Some people say say something like an air spray, you can blow air out upside down and that will freeze the part or near the part, and that will help release it. So there's all sorts of ideas, and it's always a question which one is going to work for whatever you're printing in, PLA in this case, whatever you're printing on Kapton tape with diluted wood glue in this case. And it's just come off now. It's actually just come off after what, quite a while there. I thought it was going to do quite well, but as you can see it is moving about. So let's stop that. Controlling the LCD display, LCD 12864, turning the knob like crazy just to get the Z to move up. Well, obviously, oops, have to be careful ahead. Well, at least we can see the infill there, if it focuses. So it's done quite a few layers there. I didn't get a count of how many layers it did. There's the bottom, quite smooth and glossy. I don't mind blue painter's tape on the bottom actually. The sort of texture that I had leaving on, it's quite pleasant to me. I don't know if I really want a really smooth like bottom layer on mine. It does seem to be a bit of a curve in this. I doubt if you can see it, it just feels, it looks like curvy there. Getting the light correct for this. Looks almost like dented down a bit on this side here. Definitely curvature there. This is a heated bed, 70 degrees. And there seems to be like a layer line right on the edge. Don't know how well you can see it. I'll try to zoom in on the video post-production. So I'm going to let this cool down, clean all this off, this PVA wood glue, because that hasn't worked really too well, and then I'm going to try some hairspray on here.